Welcome back to the Maserati F1 Manager Career Mode Create a Team. My name is Reigns, and this is part 3 or episode 3, whatever you want to call it. And last time around, we had our best on track result by a singular driver so far in this series. We got 11th place with Antonio Giovinazzi, who had a bit of struggles in the early parts of the race in Jeddah in Saudi Arabia, and pulled it back because of a relatively late safety car caused by Fernando Alonso basically crashing into Robert Schwartzman and writing off a whole car. Near the end of the last part, we replaced Robert Schwartzman's car so that he would have a new one for this next race. And yeah, now we're going to Melbourne, the land down under in Australia. But before we do that, we have our first design for the new underfloor that we have created coming in. This new underfloor gains us performance mainly in high speed and dirty air tolerance. It realistically should make us the third or fourth best car in terms of high speed. Now, we have about 88 million left in the bank in terms of cost cap. So we can rush these upgrades in. Whether we will or not leaves to be checked, and if we want to see if it actually happens. So we're going to see that coming in. We also have a bunch of new upgrades coming in, which also means that there's a very slight chance that we are not going to be able to get these parts coming in time. The only way for us to get it in for Melbourne would be to rush them in, and that rushing them in will cost us a boatload of money. Delphine Clement is performing very well. We are going to go looking for some affiliate drivers for Maserati. Now, what that would be is drivers that are actually in F3, which will sign for 2 seasons, and there will be Italian drivers. Ideally, they're going to be Italian drivers. So Nikita Bedrin is one that we could potentially get in. But I would also like to have some F3 drivers to come in. I'm going to take a look at them. We'll see what they are, and by next episode we will know exactly who we are going to sign. Forneloli is also an option. He's doing pretty well in F3 as it stands currently. There are a few others. Gabriele Mini is also one who is set to be in F2 regardless of everything. But the downside is we have to sign him for next season. And he has 10 months left in this contract. We could poach him for 100k. That's not a problem. And sign him for 2 seasons. It's absolutely doable. But we'll see what happens, and we'll see what we can achieve. Anyway, let's go forward into getting our first design and see if it's worth it in the long run to get this upgrade. Now, we'll go to warehouse, we'll go to underfloor, and we'll see what this does. It puts us as the best in high speed, gains us a bunch of performance in high speed and some medium speed performances. So we could potentially manufacture it as with immediate effect. What happened in Saudi Arabia? Behrman, Hajar, Zayn Maloney. Those were the 3 that performed at a level that we... I want to take a look at the championship. F2 championship looking meh. I mean, Dennis Hauger is there. Franco Colapinto, who's recently just became an F1 driver for Williams, replacing Logan Sargent. Paul Aaron generally tends to perform very well, so I'm curious to see how and what is going to be there. Fittipaldi. We could sign him that. Anyway, I'm looking at drivers. I like looking at drivers in the sense of what to expect from them. Okay. So, any parts that we need are now in the works. Now, we could get 2 in for 3 million. We would have them instantly. Rushing them in would mean that we would be spending 2 million. About 1 million extra if we rush them in. When would these ones come in? 16 days. This would mean for Suzuka we would have just 1 driver with the upgrade. And if you do 2, that means we'll have 2 drivers with the upgrade and 1 spare. Ooh. Alternatively, we could do 2 emergency ones. We do 1 emergency one, get 1 driver with the upgrade running, and then yes. So for the same amount of money, we could get 4 upgrades in. So we're getting 1 emergency upgrade. I think we're gonna rush it, but we're not gonna rush it to this extent. So a normal 6 rushed would 6 normal would get us 4 rushed. Let's do 4 rushed. 6, we'll probably not need 6, so we're gonna go with the rushed. It's a way of balancing that out. We need to keep that in balance, and we're going to Melbourne. Let's take a look at what to expect. The thing we are expecting, as it stands, is that we will perform approximately as good as we have been doing thus far. We are like the 6th, 7th best car on the grid. So that's the base we can expect. And we're going to go with 14th. And we're going to go with 15th. Just try to get the 200, 300k that we are owed every race. Because like I said, if there's a driver that out of their own volition puts us in jeopardy for that money, for more than 4 races in a row, we will start looking into other options. It is what it is. Now, for those of you that are new here, please like and subscribe. And for your information, we are doing this where I simulate FP1, 2, and 3, Q1, 2, and 3, and then manage the races. And the managed races, the main YouTube video will not see. You will not see. You will just see me giving a breakdown of what anything special that happened, any mid cutscenes if those are required for a better explanation of what happened. If you do want to see those races unfold in real time, A, subscribe, and B, they'll be in a playlist separately if you guys want to see it. Put that in the comments, and I'll get to it. There is a damaged part from last race, the gearbox. We're gonna leave it for now. Instead, what we're gonna do is we're going to run till qualifying, and then do the qualifying on the new gearbox component, as a way to avoid unnecessarily damaging
Hello and welcome.
Gearbox when it's not necessary. There we go. The gearbox is absolutely trashed. We could still use it for the next race 1 more time without worrying all that much. I'm gonna take a look at the practice sessions. The practice sessions tend to go not so much in our favor. The car setup is 64, 69%. Can I edit it to an extent where it's gonna work? Yeah, I could probably edit it to a point where it works. I mean, this could just be a 90% setup. If we're being totally realistic. And I could do this one and run this setup. But I'm not going to. I'm gonna run that 64 and 69. I mean, this could also become a 100% setup, but I'm not going to, because that's not all we do here. Qualifying has been simulated. Let's take a look at where the car places itself with our main two drivers. Let's take a look. Dead last. Absolutely terrible. Now, there is no way but up from here. We're gonna do 2 laps of fuel down, because Australia tends to be pretty strong on its tires. So let's get into managed races. For the people that are watching this on the main YouTube video,
Well then,
you will not see this.
It's not long until we get started here,
and
we
you'll
should
see
be
the
in for a
results.
tightly
14th. That's 14 and 19. Giovinazzi
As always, there will be
did gain positions, realistically speaking, but the car's performance was much better than it needed to be, and Giovinazzi didn't perform. That's it. He gained positions, but that was because of mistakes from the other teams than himself performing well. Schwartzman, on the other hand, gained because the performance was there. So it's difficult to pulse, kind of. Aston Martin is struggling. RB is not struggling whatsoever. Our pit stops are doing okay. 7th, it's good enough. It's not good enough, but it could be better. And with that, yeah, Giovinazzi just made so many mistakes. He was running on a conservative strategy. He still was struggling. That's another bit of money, but he's gotten us money in the first 2 races, so it's okay. Tide could be switching. Any major faults? Yeah, the front wing. That's all right. We can cut him some slack there, and Kimi Antonelli gets his first race a win in Formula 2. I think that puts him right up there. Yeah, it puts him right up there in 3rd place. Still a ways adrift of Isaac Hadjar, who is leading. Dennis Howard's in 6th, getting points. I think he's gotten points in every... Gabriel Bortoleto up in 8th with the only person with a DNF. It's crazy. Mgutenif. Okay, that's a name I did not expect to see. Didn't even know that that person existed. Luke Browning. But yeah, it's looking more and more like we have a lot of drivers that we can choose from. I'm going to choose from the F3. I want to get someone in for 2 seasons as an affiliate rather than go for a 1 season then they promote kind of scenario. I want to build them up from within, which leads into which leads into us spending about 5 million just on a race simulator to enable that performance increase and that development. Alrighty, so let's get into it. Let's get an understanding of what we expect. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. If you like this video so far, please like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. And with that, peace out and get out of here.